Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We have here a former Democrat who endorses Donald Trump for his bid to the or for the U.S. presidency, and I like her. Not, I like how she thinks, and she's a very smart, courageous woman. Her name is Tulsi Gabbard. Gabbard. So she used to be a representative of Hawaii, U.S. representative, until she challenged Hillary Clinton, and then she was out. And then she left the party, and she's an independent. Some people say that maybe Donald Trump could pick her as his vice president. We'll find out. Now, from the get-go, I'm going to tell you that I don't think we have really here two parties that are opposing one another. I think there are two parties, which is one party working together for other interests, and those interests are not we, the people. Sometimes they put a fight for us imbeciles covered by the media in such a way that gives us the mirage, the illusion that they really support our interests. But I think always goes towards the tyranny. Regardless if the Democrats or the Republicans are in power, the trend goes towards that one. More control by the government, our rights, as I said, temporary privileges, narrow, limited. And these guys are the same, working for the same guys who give them food to get elected and have good lives. That's how I see this political system we live in, with two-party system, which is one-party system. So I will mention here a few Democrats that I liked while I've been watching politics. I call them Democrats, but it's not necessarily that they're Democrats. I think of people who are capable of thinking and really having a dialogue, being capable of saying, okay, that is your claim, let's discuss it, let's try to make it better together. Not, this is my point, I'm going to make this, and I don't want to talk to you, you are a racist, you're a xenophobe, you're this, immediately pointing and labeling people and not talking. Those are imbeciles. But hey, we need them too. Why? They need to push buttons from time to time or do like this, and that's it. We need them. I mean, 40% of the population is below 86. What do you want? What are you going to do with 40% of a population? What can you do? Have the other 60% support them? Work for them? No, you have to find jobs that they can just do click, and they don't know to do anything else. And if you do something, they call police and they pick you up. Why? Because you, violated the policy. So what do we have here? Let me give you the names, and I'm going to show you some pictures of each that I liked because they were capable of thinking. Here is one. Then this is Dennis Kucinich. I know how he's running in Ohio, I think, for some over there. He was screwed because of his position. I like this guy. He is capable of thinking. He is far left. I don't care, but you can have a conversation. You can work together. Now the other one, Robert F. Kennedy, obviously he is gone. Now he is not a Democrat whatsoever. Again, like anybody, you definitely can have a conversation with this gentleman. Then the other one of my favorites, again, and watch this exchange, and his name is Alan Grayson. He's not, I think he was from Florida, if I remember correctly. He was a House representative, U.S. Watch this. Well, he is talking with Zelensky Stein Bernanke, who was in charge of the private bank, so-called Federal Reserve Bank. It's a private bank made out of 10, all privates, but they are Federal Reserve Bank. It's unbelievable. So he takes this guy to task, and Bernanke said, I'm not going to tell you, fuck you. Very nice exchange. He's not in the House. I think he served one term, and he was fucked up by his friends, and the friends who promoted him, if you come back and say, ask a few questions, you get out. So these are three of the ones that I like now, including the person that I'm referring to today, which is Tulsi Gabbard, right here. I listened to her many times when she ran for president, and not only, and she is a very smart, courageous, logical human being. Tulsi Gabbard, or woman, former Democrat lawmaker, endorses Trump for U.S. president. Tulsi Gabbard has been listed among the leading Republican candidates' possible running mates. Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii has denounced her former party as enemies of democracy driven by a lust for power. The same thing is with the Republicans. Don't make fool of yourselves. While praising the Republican favorite for the presidential nomination, Donald Trump. Gabbard was once the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, but resigned in 2016 to protest the rigging of the party primaries against Bernie Sanders. What happened? Nothing. Anybody ponder what? It was Scholz, another another Sanders, another Zelensky Stein, or another Schumer, another Bernstein, or whatever. So those guys said, oh, you can't rig that, and you have what? Brazil, whatever her name is, Brazil gave some questions, like they need the questions beforehand. You don't have it in your head. Yeah, because they're dumbasses. And in favor of Hillary Clinton. On Thursday, she spoke at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, held just outside the U.S. Capitol. In her speech, Gabbard denounced and I'm quoting, the Democrat elite and the swamp creatures in Washington, end quote. Well, I think you should talk about the Republicans' elite also. And the same thing, the rest of the sentence fits both parties. As having no respect for Americans and their rights, and being, and I'm quoting, driven by their insatiable hunger for power. Well, partly true, mostly true. Why? Because there's more to that. That's 100% true, but it's more to that. Democrats claim that Trump will, and I'm quoting, destroy our democracy if elected, she argued. Well, it's not your democracy, it's our democracy as well. And you want me not to say anything so I don't destroy your democracy? So if you look at what's going on right now, these guys in charge of us, they switched it from the democracy being, the will of the people go and vote, to defending the right, defending the right to say things and vote in a certain way, to the institutions that they attach to democracy. So if they say, well, if you criticize the military-industrial complex, that's an attack on our freedoms and democracy. What? If you attack, let's say, Hillary Clinton, that's an attack on democracy. Or if you attack the Senate, it's attack, meaning criticize. If you speak, if you criticize the DOJ, Department of Justice, that's an attack on our democracy because you attacked institution. Well, attack by what? By talking? Yeah. So they want you to shut up regarding, institutions that they deem, that they owned, they are the protector. There's a democracy. Well, you need institutions. It's true, but you need good institutions to function the way they were supposed to function. And in no way, in no shape or form, you are supposed to shut the fuck up if you see something wrong. You should speak out and speak up, loud and clear, and say it, and engage in dialogue, in debates, not to win the conversation, to find the truth. Okay, is it wrong? Okay, give me your argument. Maybe I see it wrong. Maybe you see it wrong. Let's see. Let's find it. No, it doesn't work that way. Why? Hunger for power. Remember, destroy our democracy. Their democracy is not the same thing as our democracy. My democracy is not the same as your democracy. We have nuances. Okay? Nuances. I'm quoting. They say he will be the dictator-in-chief, that if he's elected, again, this is scare tactics. I mean, I can argue that Hillary Clinton is going to bomb Russia tomorrow if she runs and she wins. I mean, you can't just, you need some evidence. He was in power 4 years. Why didn't he do it? You said it the same way, and he didn't do it. I don't even have to discuss. It's just on the imbeciles and that's, I mean, these guys right now are just playing a toddler, infantile game. They just accuse, and if you get tangled in the accusations, which are retarded, then you miss the point. You're never going to get to important things because you have to defend Defend, not defend. You have to argue or, yeah, defend the imbecilic statements or accusations. And then they keep you busy here while they're doing big stuff over there. Nobody talks about, okay, not nobody, but let's talk about who crosses the border illegally, just crosses the border. Let's talk about, let's talk about the aid, fighting the Russians in Ukraine. How about the banks? How about the DOJ? How about these senators? How about the system of these elected officials being donated so much money? What is this? How about the mass media? Who's in charge? Who are those guys? Were you former FBI? Are you FBI? Are you a CIA? Who are you? Agents? Who are you? Who made you? Like a AC/DC song. Who made you? Anyway, so here is, my friends. She's right. She's right. And again, their democracy. Who's democracy? And dictator in chief. All right. You can't be a dictator if you don't have the right people to follow your orders or to fulfill your orders. You're not a dictator like that. So you have, that means these guys don't have to focus on Trump only. They have to focus on thousands of people that probably will implement his dictatorial orders. By himself, you stop him? No, you have to stop the bureaucracy. Who owns the bureaucracy? I would like to hear it. And they call it the swamp. I call it the marsh because I don't want to be so obvious about it. So that if he's elected, it will be the last election this country sees. It's laughable. This is so crazy. It's laughable. They're justifying their actions by telling themselves that they need to destroy our democracy in order to save it. Correct. It's lunacy, and it's the mindset and mentality of dictators, end quote, said Gabbard. And again, I say Gabbard, what the hell? Quoting again, they are waging a multi-front battle and they will stop at nothing until they're successful. The problem is the politics, the level, let's put it, the level of education in this country. Go to school and see what they learn. And you're going to understand. Or go and ask a 17-year-old child, ask him some questions about some capitals in the world. Let's say Denmark, what's the capital? All right, let's go with Bangladesh. But let's go with something simple. The Czech Republics, let's say. Something that should be easier for them. Or Argentina. Or Canada. They will tell you Toronto, most of them. So, just start with the geography. Because if you don't know what world you live in, you can't assess. So, as Dr. Yeah, he is. And psychologist Jordan Peterson wrote that book, in that book, the 12 whatever for life. The same, he said, clean your own room, your own bed, make your own bed. First, make sure that you know how to wipe your ass, brush your teeth, clean up, make order in your life before you go out and, hey, climate change. And you didn't change your underwear for 3 weeks or so, and you're all urine and poop infested. These are the people. And you say, well, the movies, so geniuses are like that. Well, those are movies, okay? So you have to... so this society gets its leaders, the politicians, leaders, the guys that are over there. And you have the mass media. The mass media doesn't have to convince the whole population. It needs to convince, 40%, not even 40%. And if those are dumbasses, it's easy. That's why you you don't have to be too sophisticated in your speech, because it's going to fly above these guys' brains. Therefore, you have to dumb it down so you get the 40%. It's easier to fool the 40% than the other ones. 5, 10, 20% on the other side, because you need more explanation. You need more brain. You need to know the capital of Bangladesh sometime, and many, many other things. So the democracy here has been the system has been eroded by its level or drop in the intelligence, knowledge level, education in this country. Supposedly, that's a fact. Americans right now are more, quote-unquote, educated than ever before. I think 30% of the adult population owns a diploma of a college degree. Go and talk to them. Please, see how they think and what they know. I decided in a conversation with someone, and my first questions will be, tell me the capital, as I said, Sweden. Or something trickier, Canada, as I said, because they say, that is Toronto. Holy moly mackerel. Or ask population. Okay, you like Ukraine. Okay, Slava Ukraine. Okay, Tell me about how many people, what's the population, what used to be the population. Tell me their national day. Which one is it? Tell me their, I don't know, national poet. What do you know about something that you love so much? In order to love, you have to respect. In order to respect, you have to know. Okay? If you don't know shit, how the hell are you going to respect? Oh, I respect Mr. Cosman. I don't know anything about him, but I respect him. It's a lie. It's an imbecilic. And after you respect, maybe you get to love that person. You elevate it. Please. All right, let's move on. So again, it's lunacy. It's a mindset. They are waging a multi-front battle, and they will stop at nothing. She praised Trump as a fighter whose strength and resilience came from a sincere love and concern for the future of our country and his care for the American people. Well, yes, and okay. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden, whom she endorsed in 2020, would crumble, quote unquote, under a fraction of the pressure and attacks currently directed against Trump, she said. He would not be in the game. First, he would be, before he would pack his luggage and go to, I don't know. Gabbard denounced attempts by multiple U.S. states to take Trump off the ballot. And he says very clearly a political motivated hit job. I agree with that. The speech, and I'm quoting, sounded like an audition for the vice presidency, end quote, according to The Guardian, which disapproved of Gabbard's message, of course. They're part of the establishment. The British outlet noted that she was met with a standing ovation and cheers, and notably more enthusiasm than former British Prime Minister Liz Truss, who also addressed the gathering. Oh my God, they dropped about 20 IQ points, the whole conversation with Liz Truss. Jesus Christ, Liz, lazy lizard Truss. Trump is, Jesus Christ. But she's a Biden. She's a Sunak. She's a Scholz. She's in these guys. Not in Macron. Macron is smart. Weasel, 100%, but smart. More flexible, knows how the wind blows, but he's a weasel, and he's not playing in our team. Trump is seeking rematch with Biden. Okay, so it says here, the 42-year-old lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve served in House of Representatives from 2013 to 2021. She left the Democrats in 2022, denouncing them as elitists, warmongers driven by cowardly wokeness, who sought to divide Americans by racializing every issue, end quote. I agree with her, but the thing is, we settle, and we shouldn't settle. We settle to the Democrats and the Republicans. We shouldn't settle with either. For me, none of these guys, including the guys who run for presidencies, meet the standard. For me, none of them. I can tell you one who meets the standard, but he's never been as a president or anything like that. But Trump wasn't. And but other than these guys, no. The guys who was running right now, they're gone, all gone. No, this is the garbage, and you have to work within the system to get elected and try to change something. You got the big bureaucracy that's gonna say, yes, we're gonna do it, Mr. President. All right, fuck him, let's go. That's what they do. You don't believe me? What should I tell you? A lot of things. I can't tell you go and rub shoulders with them because that's harder, but pay attention. The information is out there, given by the same guys, because they have to dumb it down so low that it's, you see, when you go and climb a mountain, you go hiking and you want to go to that peak, you look up the peak. Let's say you've never been there before, you don't know any other road. You make your own plans to climb over there, and only when you get on top, you can look down, left, right, and so on, north, south, and see all the other paths that were available to climb the mountain. But only when you get on top. When you're down, you don't see the other paths that we're gonna climb there, easier or harder. You make your own path. And once you get over there, you see them, oh, that would have been easier, oh, that would have been fucked up, and so on. The same here. These guys are lowering the intellectual charge of their statements so low that is like the mountain, that some things you don't understand gets so low that you become you look from above. Looking from above, you can understand the garbage. You cannot send the garbage. It's like you go and spy over the defense lines of, I don't know, in the First World War. You go with a balloon, or you go with a, how do you call that, kite. That's why they use kite, the French kite, and take photographs. You go over there, you see the location immediately. But from down here, you don't really assess them that well. So yes, I like her, and I hope that she will get an important position in the U.S. government, and she has the authority and capability to change things, because I think she's going to change things into good for us. The keyword us. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.